Okay, Loui, thanks for taking the time out on a Sunday morning to talk to the official site for us. It didn't really matter how we got that first win, so long as we got it. But the manner in which we got the result yesterday, was that the most pleasing aspect for you?
Yeah, definitely. Like you say, the most important thing was just getting the result, getting the win, getting the points. But the performance was also a good one as well. So, the clean sheet to add to that as well. It was a great day.
Looking at the game, is it fair to say though we did start slowly, because obviously Lincoln had a goal ruled out for offside, but like the Gateshead game, we kind of grew into it. Is that a fair assumption?
Yeah, that's definitely fair. We spoke to the lads at half-time and told them, you can't afford to start slow. We got punished at Gateshead and we were lucky not to get punished yesterday. But I think once the boys found their feet, I think it was a lot better, much better performance.
What to touch on the slow starts? What are you putting that down to at the moment, Lou? Is there anything you can put your finger on as to why that is?
It'll probably be a combination of the defence back three still trying to get to know each other, and also we worked on the new system, which was a 3-5-2. We worked on that on Thursday and Friday, but we didn't have enough time to work on the defensive side as much as we would like. We worked on the attacking side going forward and the options going forward, and you can see from the goals, it's kind of paid off for us. But we're going to make sure this next week we're going to work a little bit more on the defensive side of that new system. The boys are still trying to get their heads around it, but like we said, they grew into it and they got used to it after the first 15-20 minutes. Yeah,
in Dominic Vos, we've got a player that is now getting on the goals scoring list. Are you bringing the best out of him at the moment, Loui? Was that fair to say?
Well, yeah, he's, as you can see, he's got bags and bags of ability. Is the main thing we're trying to emphasise from him. Is when we haven't got the ball. What he does when we haven't got the ball, he's got a player's part on the defensive side. He's got a player's part in the system. So when we do get the ball, we can get the best out of him as well. So we're emphasising that it's important to be able to play both sides of the game. But as you can see, when he's got the ball at his feet, that's what he loves. And he's got bags of ability and another great goal.
Yeah, and it kind of set us up for the platform. Once we got that first goal, we was really on top, and with the second goal. What a brave tackle it was from Barney Williams, who set up Jason Williams, and he had a lot of time to think about it, but he finished coolly.
Yeah, exactly. I was actually calling for the foul. It was a bit of a late tackle of Barney because he came through one tackle, and I was actually almost put my hand up for the foul. But then I had a little look, and obviously the ball went through for Jason. We instructed him to play right on the shoulder. It was very important that he played that role for us to help stretch their team, and he got his goal from that. He was right on the shoulder, on the borderline of offside. He went through, and like you say, he had loads of time, but he was cool-headed, and great finish.
So that must be pleasing that a couple of the instructions that you've given out in the game have paid off. That must be a sense of achievement for yourself, Loui.
Yeah, no, definitely. I'm not going to take the credit for it. It's a lot of the credit is definitely goes to Matt McIntyre and Paul Barnes. They're the brains behind everything on the training field, and we sit the boys down before the game, individually, and we give them their roles and give them their jobs, and that they're credit to the players to go out there and actually take everything on board and carry out the instructions. So it's a big team effort. It's a big team effort.
It's a bit of a cliche in football, but 2-0 is always a funny scoreline. What was the message to the players at half time, Loui?
It was literally, expect them to come out. They would have had, a bit of a rollicking in the half time, and they would have come out with a reaction. So, the main thing was just that the boys not to relax, to expect, some rough times in the game. There's always going to be periods where the opposition is on top. So we just told them to make sure they're ready for it. Everyone get around each other. Everyone's got to get together, work hard, and see it out. But then also not to sit back as well. Because like you say, at 2-0, sometimes you can be a bit comfortable and sit back, and then you invite pressure. So we gave the boys those instructions, and I thought second half we did well. I was unlucky not to even get another one.
Yeah, Jason Williams hitting the bar, and I felt as though we soaked the pressure up really well.
Yeah, the boys were, they were solid back there. Credit to Bushy. He's been out of contention for quite a while now. And with Jamal, unfortunately, fracturing his hand, we decided to bring him straight back in. So, he could have. He hasn't played for a while, so he could have been rusty. He could have struggled out there, but he was a man mountain. He was solid. He was rock solid, along with the other two centre halves in Michael Chambers and Sam Berry. So, yeah, like you say, we soaked up quite a bit. They went a bit more direct, and the back three and everyone else really defended well.
Another player you brought straight back into the side was Jake Gallagher. Obviously, he had served his suspension now. He led by example. I thought he had an exemplary game for Welling yesterday. Did you have a word with Jake before the game?
Yeah, exactly. We had a word with all the players and with Jake. We told him he's going to be coming straight back in. It was important that we had his leadership on the pitch. He had his energy on the pitch. But the main thing is that he stayed on the pitch. So that was something we really emphasised to him, and he understands the importance of obviously, keeping 11 men on the pitch and him staying on the pitch. We can't afford for him to miss any more games, because as you could see from yesterday, he was first class. He was in there, he was winning second balls, he had his high energy game, he was doing what he does best. He was tracking back, and also kind of driving the team forward as well. So yeah, it was great to have him back.
And obviously, everyone played their part in the game. But Michael Chambers got man of the match. Since he's come back, I know obviously Jamie Day had him in his time here, but I thought he's put in some excellent performances, and yesterday was one of those.
Yeah, exactly. I picked out the whole back three yesterday, but he obviously got the man of the match award, and I think he's thriving in that kind of that back three system, in that central role. He's a big, massive presence, and he obviously wins his headers. He's nice and solid defensively, but then also he's got the ability to come out with the ball from that central position and find players in the midfield, and play nice, smart balls into Dom on the half turn. Whereas a lot of centre backs don't have that vision to be able to play that pass. So. I think this little system we've got going on now is ideal for Michael Chambers to kind of take a leading role from that middle position and utilise his good passing range.
Are you paying much attention at the moment to other results in the league? Obviously, both teams that we're chasing won yesterday. Is that not in your mind at the moment, or do you think, we could do with a favour or two?
After the game, you always look at them, but the main thing is you don't have any influence over them. So all you can do is just focus on your own game. Focus on getting the points, focus on getting the wins, and then you do hope that they do slip up along the way. And that's the main thing. We just focus on preparing the boys for each game and focus on doing our job, and then we check the results afterwards and hope they go our way.
Looking at the squad, can you clear up a couple of issues? One being Sam Akindi. Is he still with the club?
Yeah, he's still with us. He's training. We spoke to him and we just mentioned that he wasn't going to be involved over the next few weeks, just because we feel we had better options in the squad. But great attitude from him. He's willing. He said he wants to fight for his chance, so he's willing to train with us going forward, and he turns up to training and he puts in a good shift, and he literally is just kind of waiting for his chance, So we said, if you kind of perform well in training, from day to day, and you're a standout performer, then you will get a chance. So like I say, he showed good attitude in wanting to stay around.
You're still keeping an eye on the loan players that are out, the likes of Penny, Jefford and Hudson?
Yes, definitely. Yeah, definitely keeping an eye on those guys, and we'll be looking to bring them back in as soon as their loans finish. And with Ben Jefford, it's just a matter of speaking to him and making sure that he's match fit and he's ready to come back in. So yeah, we'll be looking to bring those guys back in.
You mentioned Jamal Fifield was injured yesterday. He's not going to be out for too long, is he?
Well, that's still up in the air at the moment. He needs to go back in Friday this week to have another assessment, and if he needs an operation, then that will be his season finished. So hopefully that's not the case, but he has got a fractured bone in his hand, so we've got to be careful, because if he ends up playing, with his cast on, he could go to ground in a sliding tackle and damage his hand even more, and then he could potentially be damaged for life. So you've got to look at those things. But at the moment, we're just going to wait for some feedback from his assessment on Friday.
So could that see Ben Jefford come back from his loan quicker than expected?
Yeah, that's one option we've got. Yeah, like Jefford obviously can play down that left side. We've obviously got young Joey Taylor in the squad as well, so and Bushy, who just came in as well. So we've got options.
Looking at your backroom staff, Stacey Beckham, is he still around the club, or is he now departed?
He has actually now departed. Spoke to him on Friday, and from his point of view, he said he wants to take a break from the game. So we wish Stacey all the best. He's been a great, great member of staff at the club for many years now. So we wish Stacey all the best.
Jonathan Henley in goal. His loan's up soon. Is that going to be renewed? Yeah,
we've extended that till the end of the season. So I think the paperwork's just going through as we speak. So he'll be with us for the rest of the season.
Fantastic. And lastly, looking ahead, doesn't get any easier. Barnet away, league leaders. What's your thoughts on the game?
Yeah, it's obviously going to be a very, very tough game. Away from home against the league leaders, as you say. But the main thing is we've got a full week of training to prepare the boys. So we've also, on the back of two great results, Point at Gateshead, another tough place to go. Lincoln, a tough place to go. You get a win. So the boys are in a great place to go and actually face Barnet now. The confidence is high. The mood in the camp's great. The coach journey yesterday was amazing. The atmosphere was great on the coach. So the boys are obviously in good moods now, good spirits. But it's important from Tuesday we get back to business and we work on a few things on the training field. We've got Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday to work on things, and then we've got the big game on Saturday. So like I say, it's a good time to go and actually face them on the back of a great win.